Proverbs chapter 31, verse 1 and 2. Proverbs 31, verse 1 and 2. A vow. It is actually possible for a human being to have a transaction with God that commits God. And such a transaction that you have with God commits him to a point that you place a demand on his integrity. And at every point in time where men show that they have confidence in the integrity of God, in the fidelity of God, they put him on display, and his hands move to prove that he is faithful. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 1 and 2, we see the words of King Lemuel. And the thing that I want to show us is a prophecy that his mother taught him. So these are not the words of David, but these are the words of King Lemuel. And we want to investigate the content of the prophecy that his mother taught him. He said, "What, my son? What, the son of my womb? And what, the son of my vows?" Now, if you investigate this statement very well, you will find out that King Lemuel was born to a woman that had a challenge in childbearing, and the strategy she adopted in order to move God's hand concerning the state of her womb was that she adopted the vow strategy. And that's why he calls King Lemuel the son of her vows. Now, you see, so I'm just to show you that it is possible for you to move the hand of God by dealing with God. Now, under the broad head, dealing with God, there are several features and factors that find expression within that bracket, and one of which is a vow. You will know that what ended the barrenness of Hannah was a transaction she had with God at Shiloh, and how she came before the Lord and said to God that if God could bless her with a male child, that she vows that she will return that child to God. And the miracle that she eventually had was occasioned by a transaction that took place between her and God in extending the terms of a vow to a faithful God. Now, I don't want to talk so much on this because this is not the emphasis I have in my spirit for tonight, but I need to show you the law of a vow. And that law is in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4 to 5. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4 to 5. The Bible says, "When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it." That means if you don't vow what you cannot pay, and the moment you make the vow, don't wait for God to fulfill his end before you fulfill your end. Pay it and let God be the one owing you. He said, "Defer not to pay it, for he had no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed." Next verse. "Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay." So if you are believing that God will manifest his faithfulness, you are also enjoined to show yourself faithful to the commitments that you are putting on the table. Now, so that's the law of vows. Now, I was supposed to give us a few examples of how people under circumstances that we call impossible were able to transact with God on the premise of a vow, and they were able to secure God's intervention. So that was what I was supposed to do. But you see, the emphasis has shifted from how to move the hand of God. Okay? And that's why I cannot continue to establish that emphasis, because the pendulum of truth has moved. Now,